Hello. How's it going, people? Welcome to the stream. Welcome. Hope everything's fine with you this beautiful day, and we are back. Not just me, but Arsenal as well. Champions League tomorrow, so Leverkusen versus Arsenal Champions League preview happening right here, right now. With some other news regarding Arsenal, Myles Lewis-Skelly wants to leave. He's frustrated with Arteta. Shocking, isn't it? And of course, Arsenal are looking to explore the free agent market under Andrea Berta. Atletico Madrid did that quite successfully. They did that on quite an occasion, and Arsenal now are doing that. By the looks of things at the moment, still, it's been like 5 years, and Arsenal are still linked with, and I kid you not, 5 years in the making, and then if not more, and Arsenal are still linked with Leon Goretzka, and yes, Julian Brandt. Here we go again. Goretzka's contract is running out. Apparently, he's not going to resign. Julian Brandt also is not going to resign with Dortmund, and his contract is going to run out, and they're going to become free agents. And Arsenal, of course, again, are in the mix. So we're going to talk about all that, bits and bobs here or there. So smash the like button if you haven't already. Subscribe if you are new, and let me know in the chat, what are you expecting from tomorrow's Champions League game as well, and how are you feeling about this Champions League so far? Because the game just ended. Galatasaray versus Liverpool, and Galatasaray won 1-0. To be honest, could have been more. Should have been more, to be honest, to a degree. And I'm kind of surprised that Galatasaray didn't score more, because 1-0, I think, will not be enough for Galatasaray to survive Anfield. It actually could not be enough. It could be more. So time only will tell. No matter how you look at it, time only will tell. But at the moment, yeah, Galatasaray hold the upper hand. They're 1-0 up, but I genuinely just wish there was more. Let's just put it that way. Sometimes wish there was more. Because if it was 2-3-0, would have been much, much more interesting. But let's not focus on Liverpool. Let's focus on Arsenal. Let's literally focus on Arsenal, because that's the reason why we are here. That's the reason why we are live, and those are the things we're gonna talk about. And there are quite a few things to talk about. Kid you not, there are quite a few things to talk about, which it's gonna be interesting. Today's stream is actually gonna have it's gonna be quite packed. Let's just put it that way, because there are lots of news to discuss, lots of things to talk about. So we're gonna literally dive straight into it. Big up everyone in the chat. If you haven't already, smash the likes and subscribe. Big up Mubarak. All my questions: Arsenal willing to sign players for replacement Skelly? Yeah, they will. Arsenal are looking at right backs, left backs, defenders, and everything. I think it heavily depends. I think quite a few things heavily depends how this season is going to end, because with the random rumors, whether are fake or true, we don't know, but circulating that if Arsenal don't win the league, Arteta will go and everything. He's going to get the boot and all this stuff. I think some stuff also quite heavily kind of depends off if Mikel Arteta stays, to a degree. Let's just put it that way. But Myles Lewis-Skelly, definitely after last year, how he burst on the scene and everything, was one of the brightest stars in Europe at left back at such a young age. Obviously, towards the end part of the season, it kind of dwindled. He got some unnecessary red cards, yellow cards, everything. Definitely, it wasn't that great. At the same time, as soon as Calafiori is back, Skelly doesn't see the pitch at all. We also signed Hincapié. So either we play Skelly in the midfield, or, well, Skelly has to go on loan, because he's not going to play. Arteta obviously favors Calafiori and Hincapié at left back. Very evident Arteta wants to play Merino in the 8 when Rice is coming off. Obviously, Merino is now injured, which is quite interesting why Skelly doesn't get as much time in the 8. And he pretty much plays everyone there besides Skelly, and that is the nuts part. Big up, Marlon. Big up. Yeah, I don't know what happened to Liverpool. They were a bit they didn't do much. Let's just put it that way. Galatasaray were on one. I'm not gonna lie. I would want to leave too if Havertz, Odegaard, and Zubendi were getting so much games more. To a degree, I get it. I absolutely get it. Absolutely. If we lose Skelly, man, I will get this down. It's not as much as about Skelly getting sold. It's more about Skelly getting a loan. So Skelly is not going to get sold. Skelly most likely is going to get a loan. It's not that Arsenal are going to sell him, because if you look at this, Myles Lewis-Skelly could leave this summer. The youngster is frustrated with his limited minutes, with a loan move away from the club now seen as increasingly highly. He's only played 12% of minutes in the Premier League this season under Mikel Arteta. 12%. That's actually quite insane. And one of the main destinations at the moment that's talked about the most, obviously, is, well, none other than Everton. Arsenal are ready to send the 19-year-old left-back Myles Lewis-Skelly on loan next season. Ironically, he's not even a left-back. He's a midfielder. Arteta just wants him as a left-back, just like Zinchenko and other players. He has started just one game in the league since January. We are halfway through March, 2.5 months into 3.5 months into the year, and he has started only one game and has found himself behind Piero Hincapié and Riccardo Calafiori after a breakthrough campaign last season. Everton would be a potential destination, which for me personally speaks lots of things. Definitely, we are going through lots of phases, lots of things. We are trying to do some things. And Skelly, unfortunately, has been one that's getting the short end of the stick, unfortunately. And to be honest, speaking of Hincapié, as we talk about Skelly and Hincapié here or there, Arsenal will turn Piero Hincapié's deal into permanent deal in June, never in doubt. Deal was structured on initial loan for FFP reasons, but always seen as permanent, similar to Raya, how we did with Raya. Loan didn't then sign next year, which is quite great. Fee to buy Leverkusen from Arsenal will be 52 million euros, which is about 45 million pounds with 10% sell-on clause. And not gonna lie, Hincapié has been quite fantastic for Arsenal. He has been great. He's Ecuador international, plays center-back, left-back for Arsenal as well. Center-back, left-back. He's doing a great job. Has scored some goals. Defensively, he's very sound. He lacks a bit going forward at the same time. It's not that big of a deal if we actually would utilize our midfield and attack a bit more. Let's just put it that way. But looking at this instance, yeah, definitely looking at this instance, 100%. It's quite refreshing to see that Arsenal actually going to turn Hincapié deal into the main deal, because it actually, ironically enough, Fabrizio Romano pretty much has confirmed that Arsenal are gonna turn it into a permanent deal, right? But the loan actually was not an obligation to buy; it was loan with option to buy. And looking at Arsenal, how they're gonna try to do something, they're gonna try to sign him, and they will sign him full time. I'm actually very pleased, because if Arsenal didn't sign Hincapié after what he has done this season so far, it would have been actually a big head scratcher, definitely. It would raise, again, more questions and give answers about how Arsenal envision their future, how these things are going to go about things. Let's just put it that way. Big up, Peter. Big up, Peter. Hope you're doing well today, my guy. Big up, Randy. Big up, Randy. Skelly won't leave. Arteta needs to get him into the team. Don't get why he rotates Skelly with Rice. Makes sense, I assume you mean. Why don't he rotate Skelly with Rice? That would make sense. Exactly. That is the biggest question when you look at all of these things. Skelly was a midfielder, as in the youth system. He became a left back in the last year or so, last year and a half in the youth academy, whilst Mikel was here. He envisioned him apparently as a left back, but if he envisioned that, then getting rid of Tierney, why? Then signing Calafiori, signing Hincapié, it's actually kind of weird. And since Skelly by default technically is a midfielder, him not being rotated with Rice is actually kind of very questionable and frustrating situation, especially given the circumstances that that Merino is out till the end of the season pretty much. We have no other eights, and we much rather play someone like Havertz there or somebody else than actually a Skelly, who is young, who is very quick, strong on the ball with good technical abilities. He has very good ball carrying abilities as well. It's actually quite a weird situation regarding Skelly. That is the biggest thing. It's a very weird situation. And if Arsenal don't sort this out, if Arteta specifically doesn't sort this out, alone actually would be the case. It would be something like Wanjeri's situation. Just with Wanjeri, it was a half a season at the moment, at least. With Skelly, it would be a full season most likely. Definitely would be the most season full most likely. Do you think we win? Yes, I do. I definitely do. I believe we're going to win 3-1. I think 3-1 or 3-0. And for me, yeah, like 3-1 or 3-0. Those are one of two my predictions for tomorrow's game, depending on situation, how that is going to go. But yeah, I'm very hopeful. I'm very confident that Arsenal are gonna start to do the job. They're gonna do the job. It's just a matter of how we're gonna do the job. Whether it's gonna be like the boring we see in Premier League, or it's gonna be exciting, open like we do in Champions League. Because Champions League compared to Premier League are two different styles of football. And for Arsenal, the way we want to play the Champions League suits us more. Definitely suits us more. In Premier League, it's more park the bus, very systematic, very robotic. In Champions League, teams actually go at you and they leave open spaces behind. And for me personally, and looking at Arsenal, if like with Arsenal, it's the thing. If you park the bus, we're gonna try set pieces. We're gonna try something very boring, unorthodox, which 9 times out of 10 is going to work, right? If you open up spaces, if you leave the gaps for us, we're gonna hit you on counters. We're gonna hit you in the attack with pace, with directness, and you're gonna be screwed anyways. Unfortunately for Arsenal, the parking the bus situation, it's actually more promising for other teams to get a result against Arsenal, especially for teams that know they cannot beat us straight going head to head. They need points maybe in the league and everything. So we'll see. We'll see. Big up, Roy. Big up. It's always the same question at the end of the day. If we sack Arteta, who do we get in? Frank Thomas? And I have no idea, to be honest. Personally, I know I have my list of managers who I would want in. I know that many people say, oh, he's washed, oh, he's a dinosaur and everything. But at the same time, we need, if Arteta, and I'm saying this if he doesn't get it over the line this season, it's time to bring in a manager with winning pedigree, who has been there, who has done it, and who has won majors. I don't want another manager who basically has empty trophy cabinet as a manager. I need a manager who has proven himself on the big stages. I don't want, and the ex-players as well. I don't want any ex-players as Arsenal managers at all. Unless the same rules apply for me personally, same terms, unless they have won the league where they are coaching in. For example, people are mentioning Cesc Fabregas all over the social media. If Cesc wins Serie A, if Cesc wins Champions League, something like that, yes, I will be open for him to coming at Arsenal. But at the moment, looking what he's doing at Como, he's doing a fantastic job. There's no denying it. He got them promoted, finished mid-table first season. Second season, he has them fighting for Champions League. He's doing a phenomenal job. His footballing philosophy is also very great, very exciting and very beautiful to watch. The way he gives the midfielders freedom, the way the attack is flowing, the way the defensive shape is taking place. At the same time, will that translate into Premier League? I'm not so sure at this stage. That's why I want someone who has been there, who has done that, because that shows that manager knows how to adapt, how to change, how to improve, how to regress, how to digress, how to reassess, basically, at the end of the day. And I need someone who has the know-how at this time. We're literally going for quad, and people are calling for Arteta's head. Y'all deluded again. The time machine of watch Flamini and the boys complain there. What are you talking about? I'm not complaining. I'm not saying sack Arteta now. But if Arteta this season does not win Premier League or Champions League, for me, he has to go. 6 years is long enough with $1 billion spent to do something. Long overdue. Especially looking at Arsenal, who hasn't won Premier League in 22 years. Champions League, well, never. 33 years since one Carabao Cup, or the 6 years won the FA Cup. Like, it's a rough one. It's a rough one. The ironic part is, I know, Randy. I know. I see you in the chat. You don't mean me at this stage, at this moment in time. But even if with Flamini and them boys in the midfield, right, and at the back with players like Giroud and Koscielny, we still want FA Cups. Ironically enough, Arteta cannot even do that with this team, because this team is in prime position and arguably in prime condition to win trophies. We just haven't done it. And at some point, obviously, all the talk is going to be about the manager. Obviously, players need to look at themselves. They need to figure shit out. They need to figure what's going wrong. But at the same time, manager is the one that's going to take the heat, and he needs to figure that out more than anyone if he wants to stay at the job. This is Arsenal. This is not like Brighton or Bournemouth, where you can chill with just top four for too long. You need to win trophies, especially at Arsenal, where you haven't won trophies, well, what it feels like ever. Literally. I was a kid when we won the Premier League last time. I was literally a kid. Wasn't even a teenager back then. I was 12. And right now we're 11 to be honest, but we are where we are right now. I just put it that way. Let's just see. Marlon, relax. It's very evident that like you need to relax and you need to learn how to filler things and your thoughts. Barca, Real, Man City, and Bayern. I rest my case. This is going to be interesting how that goes. Definitely, it's going to be interesting. Any team at the moment has a chance to win the Premier League. In the final, it's going to be also very interesting who's going to get there. Because for me personally, Arsenal, if they don't reach the final, it's going to be a disaster. Looking at our let's just say our route to semifinals even. We in semifinals most likely going to get either Barcelona or Atletico Madrid. Most likely, right? If we speculate about things, look at this, it's going to be either Atletico Madrid or Barcelona. Against Barcelona, it's going to be tough. There's no argument about that. But can we beat them? Yes, we can. Their attack is phenomenal. Their midfield is phenomenal, but our defense is also quite fantastic. Their defense is a bit shaky. They don't have tall defenders, so set piece again, Ole could do the job. In the final, it's one game. Anyone can beat anyone, and anything can happen. Let's be real. Anything can happen. Anyone can beat anyone. But at this stage where we are, it's one game at a time settings, no matter how you look at it. You cannot get carried away already thinking about finals, about stuff like this. You have to take it one game at a time. At this stage, Champions League at the moment. Then we look forward to the next game we have. When we redirect our attention to that. We cannot afford to just already dream about something that has not happened yet. And I already see Arsenal fans after the Mansfield game where Trossard got injured, where Calafiori got injured and everything. Although not that serious. They both have flown to Leverkusen, to Germany, and everything should be fine. They most likely are going to play or take some part into the game, right? But overall, right? At the end of the day, there are some fans who are saying, oh, look at these two injuries and our squad is getting smaller due to injuries. Maybe we should throw FA Cup in the bin. I'm sorry, throw FA Cup in the bin. We are not in a position to look down at any trophy whatsoever. This is the same Arsenal fan base who are laughing, right, at Man United in the mess they are, right? At the same time, since Arteta has taken over Arsenal, Man United have won more trophies than Arsenal with under Ten Hag and all these guys they have had, ironically enough. Like, that is not good enough, is it? That definitely is not good enough. Glasner has won the FA Cup with Crystal Palace. Newcastle won a trophy. Leicester won a trophy. Like, is that acceptable when you are an Arsenal fan? No, it's not. At least in my opinion. Serious upgrade over Zinchenko and Skelly at left back. Yeah, Hincapié 100%. Hincapié is a serious upgrade. Defensively, especially offensively, maybe not as much in my opinion, in certain areas specifically, but defensively 100%. So defensively 100%. Yeah, exactly. Skelly is class at breaking the lines. Exactly. He is one of the best in the team. Emil Smith-Rowe as well. He had great ball carrying skills. And nobody had that in the team at that time when he was here. Unfortunately, he got exiled from the club. Like, people may say some players had to go, some players needed to come in. And unfortunately, Emil Smith-Rowe, to a degree, was the sacrificial lamb for that to happen, right? At the same time, we don't have that ball carrier in our team in that midfield besides Emil Smith-Rowe at the time, and at the moment, Skelly. Declan Rice can do it to a degree, but it's not what he is. Declan Rice is the one that sits in the six, disrupts the play, who presses everyone and who distributes the long balls more than anything. What he did at West Ham was prime example who Declan Rice is. Why we don't use him in the same role and get actually a proper number 8 is also a big question mark for me, because if you think about it, we have spent, and I kid you not, 230 million trying to replace Granit Xhaka. As weird as it sounds, from the 22-23 season when Granit Xhaka had the best season at Arsenal he's ever had and ever will have and all this stuff, we have spent 200 plus million trying to replace him, just to try and replicate that. And it hasn't worked out still. It hasn't worked out still. For new ones in May, 5 in August, 6. Emery deserved to be sacked. Definitely. To a degree, Emery deserved to be sacked. To a degree. At the same time, you cannot help but wonder what would have happened if he had the same backing from the club, he had the same money from the club as Arteta has, he had the same patience from the club as Arteta does. Who knows? Because Emery is the last one who has gotten us to a European final. Yes, he effed it up big time there, but at the same time, he got us there at least. He got us there. We have not been to a European final since. And even before that, it's been a very long time since we've been to a European final. Like, everyone was complaining, oh, we faced 30 shots against Watford. We drew 2-2. But when we play against Leeds and we draw, nobody complains when Leeds have 28 shots. Nobody complained about that. Same team, same everything. Like, it's actually kind of nuts. Eddie Howard Fabregas. Personally, and people will salute me for this, none of them. Personally, at Arsenal at the moment, none of them. So Bayern Munich are winning 1-0 against Atalanta. Atletico Madrid are winning 3-0 against Spurs. Seriously, 3-0. Llorente, Griezmann, Alvarez. 3-0 against Spurs. Oh my goodness gracious, how awful are Spurs? 3-0. Serious talk. 3-0. Look at this. 3-0. It's actually insane. Holy crap. This is how bad Spurs can be. Spurs are going down, aren't they? Spurs are losing game in, game out. Their heads are dropping. Their belief is just gone. They mentally are not focused at all, and it's just going down the drain real damn quick. Real damn quick. That's a good one, bro. See what happens at Como. Exactly. Yeah, Cesc is a good one. I'm not saying he's a bad one. Cesc definitely is going to be one of the best managers potentially in the future. Looking how he looks at football, what's his philosophy going, what he tries to implement into the team, what the budget he's working with. Definitely he's doing a fantastic job. But for me personally, to be an Arsenal manager, one of the biggest clubs in England, in Europe, and even in the world, you need to have some sort of a pedigree. You need to have some stature. You need to have some merits by your name. And unfortunately, Sus doesn't have any of those. And using Arsenal as your training ground and as your basically your tryouts, right? For me, just doesn't cut it at this stage. Of course, Sus can come in. For example, if he comes in and he wins it, phenomenal, great for him, great for us, and all this stuff. But I much rather have a very proven and strong winner already in the team with proper mentality, with proper focus that can get players going. And when going gets tough, he can lift the spirits. You can see Arteta going Barca at some point. Well, it heavily depends. I think Barcelona are not going to be the team who's going to take basically a random stab at Arteta unless Arteta proves that he can win something. Arsenal have patience, and it's been very visible from Cronkies, from the fan base and everything. In La Liga, you have no patience. At teams like Real Madrid or Barcelona, you either win, and you win quick, or you leave the club as a cork is leaving champagne bottle, and you're out. There is no patience whatsoever. They can say they will give you patience and everything, but they won't. Like, how many managers have Chelsea signed and they said, oh, this is a long-term project and we trust this manager and everything and all this stuff. One season passes, best case scenario, the manager is gone. And yeah, that's the thing. Plus, in La Liga, the club is also partially owned by the fans. So they take no nonsense. They want to see return on their investment. And yeah, that's the thing. 2-0 Bayern Munich, as you can see. 2-0 Bayern Munich. Bayern Munich, 2-0. Very, very interesting Champions League is going on. Looking forward to next week. Same. I'm a bit stressed and I'm also very safe. I'm not gonna lie. I'm very looking forward to our meeting against Man City on a neutral ground. See what happens in the cup final. Because for me, to a degree, that cup final will be a season defining game. Because if Arsenal win it, I strongly believe Arsenal are going to win the league. But if Arsenal lose it, mentally, it could give City that extra psychological edge. Plus, it could also put Arsenal in a bit of a downward spiral, mentally, especially. And it could definitely turn just a random bad situation to hella worse. It could cause a chain reaction, which nobody wants to see at this stage. Exactly. I love an FA Cup final. Exactly. It's going to be very stressful 2 months. No matter how you look at it, it's going to be stressful, and it also will be painful. I fully have accepted the fact that Arsenal are going to drop points in the league. Fully have accepted the fact. It's just a matter of how we drop it and to who. Because we have games still, 2 big games we have left in the league, City and Newcastle. If we drop points to them, I can try and accept that. But if we drop points to like Burnley or Everton or a team like that, I'm not going to be too pleased with that. I'm definitely going to be ranting on the stream. There's no, I'm telling you this right now. Telling you this right now. Rice is a bit overrated. Pretty much every single player in our fan base, almost every single player in our fan base is hella overrated. Our fan base has this issue that they overhype every single player to the max and past that. Rice is best at 6 in the world, and we are yeah, exactly. Rice is one of the best, I would say, top 3 6s in the world, and we are playing him as an N8. That just shows that that's the biggest issue here. What was stopping Mikel Arteta from when Partey left, right? Putting Rice in the 6 and then buying a proper invest like 60 million into proper number 8. What was stopping them? High tackle recovery percentage last year in Europe, and we changed his position. Exactly. And right now when he plays, he looks winded. He looks distraught. He barely can run after 60 minutes. It looks like he's going to pass out. He's also knackered to the maximum degree. Thank God he didn't play against Mansfield. He got a very deserved rest, just like Saliba, Gabriel, and these guys. They're 3-0 Bayern Munich, and they deserve it to a maximum degree. Big up TKA. Big up TKA. Congrats on Galatasaray win. Congrats on Galatasaray win over Liverpool. Just wish it was more. It could have been like 3-4-0. Just only that. Always a beast, yeah. Yeah. I would love to have, I've been talking about this on the streams as well, Randy. I don't know if you agree with this or not, but my opinion on this is this. Arsenal want a number 9, false 9, who can link up play, who can score goals, who has good hold-up play and technical ability. 4-0 Atletico Madrid, lol. And I think Julian Alvarez fits Arsenal's style and system we are playing right now better than Gyökeres, ironically enough. Because in the beginning of the season, it was very evident that we tried to use Gyökeres as we have used Jesus and Havertz, and it wasn't working great. And I think if we signed Julian Alvarez, if we had the chance, or if we basically throw our hat in the ring, I think our season could have been much, not much, but quite different in terms of goals, in our attack fluidity, chance creation, our finishing abilities. Let's just put it that way. Yeah, Chelsea are screwed. And our board has way too much patience. Barcelona has 0 patience. Quad better than a bit? Yes, 100%. 100%. 100%. Winning a quad is something nobody has ever done before. Someone at some point is gonna repeat it, but no, wait, let me check this, if this is true or not. Are they walking or not? I'm just curious, since you mentioned this in the chat. Yes, but Spurs are just getting dismantled to the maximum degree. Love to see it. Big up TK, by the way. Go subscribe to TK, people. Go subscribe to TK. It should have been more. 2-3 nothing, definitely. Liverpool did nothing against you lot. Liverpool did absolutely nothing against you lot, pretty much. Spurs team walking down the tunnel. Can you imagine? The disrespect as well towards Atletico Madrid. The disrespect. That was actually a very decent save by Kinski. It's just the fact that, well, nobody did anything afterwards. Let's just put it that way. But hey, it is what it is. Spurs are shambles. Spurs are a mess. Spurs changed goalkeeper Kinski after 17 minutes. They paid 60 million for him, 2025 his contract. That is, to be honest, 16 million for Kinski. He will be good in championship. I fully expect, for example, from Spurs, right? Richarlison, Van de Ven, Vicario, Romero, Kulusevski, Bentancur, all the biggest players to leave. All the biggest players to leave Spurs. I fully expect that. Yes, they have Bergval, Ordoba, players like that who will most likely stay. They will very good develop and everything there. But I expect all the big players to leave, and Spurs will need to do a massive rebuild. And since they have Vinay at the wheel, ex-Arsenal, well, good luck with that. Genuinely, good goddamn luck with that. Let's just put it that way. This Spurs team is so fun. Like 4-0 in 26 minutes. Holy crap. 4-0 in 26 minutes. It's actually embarrassing. It will be more. This game actually could finish like 6-7-0. If Atletico Madrid just don't basically sit back and don't start to pass around the back. How United lost that cup final is beyond me. How United lost. Yeah. That is actually insane. That is insane. How United lost that, it's actually wild. Because I don't even know who would be better in Europe. I think Amorim with his tactics that didn't work in Premier League. All Spurs have scored. Holy crap. Let me check this how Spurs scored. I actually have the game on at the same time. I have all the games on. I can flip through basically channels. Well, screens. Spurs are about to score. Oh, Vicario in the goal. Spurs scored. Holy moly. 4-1. Game on. The remontada. The Spurs remontada is back. Remontada from Spurs is happening. I'm not... It's between Spurs and Liverpool, and Gala got Liverpool. Look at Spurs, man. Osimhen would have just scored like 5 goals today, definitely. Good pass in behind. Good Richarlison passes, touch, shoots. Oh, not the worst of goals, to be honest. Not the worst of goals. Pedro Porro makes it 4-1. Spurs remontada is happening. Spurs remontada is happening. What is Twitter saying about the Spurs game? I'm actually very curious right now. I know I'm taking a sidestep from the Champions League Arsenal preview and everything, but hey, allow it. It's Spurs, it's Champions League, and you love to see it. Pretty much everyone's saying Spurs might as well not play the second leg, and I kind of can see why. Anyways, back to Arsenal business at hand. Arsenal know the FA Cup opponents into the next round, and Arsenal have lucked out once again. The draws this season Arsenal are getting in these cup competitions, it is actually wild. It is insane, to be honest, to a degree. Because we have gotten very favorable draw in Champions League. We got very favorable draw in Carabao Cup, and we are getting very favorable draw in FA Cup. Like, I don't know what type of footballing gods are watching over Arsenal this season, but 100% everything feels like it's going Arsenal's way. The how things are happening, how everything is falling in line to a degree. If Arsenal drop points, City drop points. 1 week one drops, other week the other one drops points. definitely gives that feeling that this is Arsenal's season. And not just to win Premier League, but to win something more if they do the job. Like, definitely, Arsenal are under a very, very, very lucky start so far this season. And has been. And it looks like they will be, because so far it's very hard to imagine something going wrong. Well, knock on wood and all this stuff, but you get what I mean. Yeah, definitely the footballing gods have blessed us. This season, 100%. This season, 100%. And we'll see what's going to happen. We'll see what's going to happen and how everything is going to go. But yeah, ultimately, time only will tell. Time only will tell. But so far, Arsenal are in a very good spot, in a very good situation. Yes, as I said, we have to take this one game at a time. One game at a time, because Arsenal's schedule at the moment, if we look at this, give me a sec. 175. Here we go. Arsenal's schedule. It's in very, very good notes, in very, very good spirits. We have Leverkusen. We have Everton at home. We should be beating them. Leverkusen at home, if we do the job tomorrow, the second game should be a formality. If we win like 3-0 in Leverkusen, right, we definitely can rotate a tiny bit. Rest some players and everything. Definitely would give us some more chances to some changes. Obviously, then we have the Carabao Cup final. Arguably, not arguably, but partially season-defining final for Arsenal. How that's going to influence the rest of the season in the league, in the cups, and everywhere else. Then we have Southampton away in FA Cup. I really do, I know, like I said, the footballing gods are blessing us with these draws and everything. But ironically enough, Southampton is one of those teams that always manages to put a very good fight against Arsenal. Remember the 22-23 season when Southampton were in Premier League at the time? They were relegated already in February. Arsenal go to St. Mary's, and they still just draw. They could not beat them. Even at home, we were struggling very heavily against them. Like, I don't know what's Southampton has some weird juju over us, or what is going on there. But definitely Arsenal tend to struggle against Southampton quite heavily at times. And I hope this is not the case. Arsenal definitely are going to rotate. How much, I have no idea. But there will be some rotation involved, definitely. Just saying it right now. Definitely saying this right now. There will be some rotation involved. I'm saying 2 Hail Marys for the quad. I'm not entertaining any quad talks at the moment. I'm not entertaining the quad talks at all, to be honest. Because you can talk about the quad when you have won at least 2 of the 4 trophies. At least 2. So far, Arsenal have won none of the trophies of those. So I'm not talking about any quads. I'm not thinking even about the quads. I'm just taking one game at a time and see what happens. Because this is all about being patient. Well, not anymore, to be honest, but this is about basically just being calm, one game at a time, and step by step. You genuinely cannot jump 3 steps. You have to take it step by step. I think Arsenal players are live on the games playing now. I advise them to be serious as Munich and Atletico. If possible, they can score 3 and more. Yeah, definitely. If any Arsenal fan is watching, not Arsenal fan, Arsenal player is watching, big up to you. It's been a frustrating season to a degree in terms of gameplay, watching it, but thank God you are on top. Champions League looks good. Carabao Cup looks good. And FA Cup also looks good. So keep what you're doing. And hopefully you can bring home like 3 trophies. It's been way too long for this club to be trophyless. Big up to you all. Yeah, we were poor at that weekend. Definitely. Away at St. Mary's, somehow Arsenal have been very poor most of the time at St. Mary's. In my recent memories, I don't remember an easy game at St. Mary's at all. Literally, it always has been like pulling teeth getting a result there. And I'm just worried that it happens again. That's my biggest worry. If that happens again, like, it will be another stressor, because the game against Mansfield as well, the first 15-20 minutes, it looked a bit ropey. We were making silly mistakes. If they had a bit more quality, a bit more luck, they could have easily scored, and it could have been a completely different game. Let's be real. So now we're going to play a more technical, better team. So it's going to be interesting to see how that game goes. Because somehow, against these smaller teams, so to speak, we have very slow starts. Definitely, we have very, very slow starts. Against Brighton as well in Carabao Cup, we should have been like 3-0 down the first 20 minutes. We just lucky Pirot and other players could not hit the target. If that was Welbeck, most likely they would be goals, at least 2 of them. So we need to be on point since first second of the game, not just when in about 15-20 minutes when we have settled in. We need to sell in instantly. Southampton in good form since they changed keeper and brought new players. Yeah, Southampton are looking very decently. It's gonna be a rough one. Big up. It's gonna be a rough one. People say, oh, it's an easy draw. It's not an easy draw. FA Cup, Carabao Cup, all these cups, it's never easy. At any given time, any team can beat almost anyone. We saw that Wrexham almost beat Chelsea. Last year, Liverpool were top of Champions League, top of the Premier League, and Plymouth beat them in FA Cup. Like, there's a very thin line between these things. And that FA Cup magic obviously exists. Big up Cordoba. Hope you're doing well today. Don't think Havertz can play? No chance in hell. We already saw how bad Havertz was in midfield the year we signed him. That was that infamous season when we lost the league by 2 points. With Havertz in the midfield, we went 1-7, 1-8, 1-7 or 1-8 in December. We drew to 10-man Fulham at home. Partey played right back. Gabriel held bench for God knows what reason and all this stuff. Havertz is not an 8, and he should not be an 8. Against small teams, yes, it feels like anyone can play anywhere. But in the big games, Havertz, no chance in hell he's an 8. No chance in hell. Let's be real, Havertz is not even really a striker, is he? Let's just put it that way. Yeah, 100%. It is very annoying when he plays there. It is very annoying. It's a very rough watch. Arsenal are not playing eye-pleasing football, right? Usually this type of football Arsenal have played throughout the season most of the time. You see at the business end of the season when you need to grind out results. But Arsenal have been playing that like throughout the whole season, right? And like Havertz in the midfield at certain games, oh my goodness, I much rather see some like win the dog in that 8 sometimes. I kid you not, it's a very rough and very painful watch. But anyways, guys, we need to do this. Arsenal versus Bayer Leverkusen, predicted 11. The 11 we would put out. We need to talk about the game, of course, since there is in the title the Champions League preview for Arsenal Leverkusen versus Arsenal, of course, and it's not going to be easy. I'm telling you this right now. People say we have a favorable way to semifinals. That goes without saying, 100%. Bayer Leverkusen, Bodo Glimt, or Lisbon Sporting, and all this stuff. Yes, we have favorable draw. We got lucky. But does that mean that the game's going to be easy? No, it doesn't. No, it goddamn doesn't. Bayer Leverkusen obviously are not the same team they were under Xabi Alonso, nowhere near and everything. At the same time, they're going to be a very formidable foe to us. It's going to be a rough game, especially in Leverkusen. The stadium is going to be bopping. It's going to be non-stop singing, non-stop top atmosphere. Arsenal will have to pull off something special there. They definitely will have to pull off something special. It's going to be physical. They're going to attack with pace. Arsenal will have to figure out how to deal with Patrick Schick, 100%. He's not going to be walking the park. Their defense with Tapsoba and others is also very, very good. Like, Bayer Leverkusen actually has a very good squad. They have some very good players, some very technical and very gifted players. Some are a bit underrated again. So we'll see. We're definitely going to see. But Arsenal's 11 for this game. We cannot afford. Yeah, Hincapie can play. Yeah. Hincapie can play. Give me a sec. Yeah, Hincapie can play. Where is it? Hincapie can play. He will. For me personally, Hincapie should be playing. Let him play against his old team. Let him play against his old team. We need that. But yeah, predict the 11. Let's see. Let's see how that goes. Let's see how that goes. Anyways, I think it goes without saying that David Raya is going to be in the goal. I think it goes without saying that David Raya is going to be in the goal. Yeah, Grimaldo is very good. Yeah. Grimaldo from free kicks is very, very decent. He has very good free kicks. Yeah. Yeah, his free kicks. He's actually a wing back and a very good wing back. Just say if you play 5 at the back, he as a left wing back, he's fantastic, to be honest. As a 3 at the back, as a left mid, also he's fantastic. As a lone left back, he's good, but he's not that great anymore, right? Playing that 3 at the back to a degree is the key. But I think with Arsenal, I think the team kind of writes itself. More or less everyone. Saliba got a rest. Gabriel got a rest during the Mansfield game. Hincapie played a bit more than he had to play just because Trossard got injured. Timber as well, he played a few minutes. Wish he could have gone the full rest. There are also talks about the fact that Ben White has traveled with the team. Ben White has traveled with the team to Germany, which is good news because we could use some rotation just in case. We'll see how that's going to happen and where this is going to lead us, but it actually could happen. It could be very, 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 very interesting if he gets to play. Although I would, unless the result is very favorable, I actually would not risk him. Genuinely would not risk him at the end of the day. Let's just put it that way. Would not risk him at all, to say the least. Midfield, I guess, again, it's very evident. It's very predictable for Arsenal how the team is going to look like, more or less. Let's just put it that way. Since Odegaard is still out, he hasn't traveled with the team. He wasn't in the training. Odegaard is not playing. Just putting it out there. Gyökeres starts up top. Right? Looking how everything goes. Saka is going to be the right wing. Now, the big question at the end of the day is the left wing, because Trossard has traveled to Germany, apparently. Martinelli as well. Most likely one of them is going to play. And people might disagree with me on this, might agree with me on this, but I'm going to go with Gabriel Martinelli as the left winger. Personally, for me, I will go with Gabriel Martinelli on the left wing. I genuinely believe so. That should be the case. Because Gabriel Martinelli in Champions League, he's actually on one. He's doing very good. He's scoring goals. He's assisting for fun. He's scoring goals. He's getting points for fun and everything. So I think that could definitely play in for Arsenal in favor. I'd start Noni. So, wait, he started against Mansfield, right? Madueke. Saka came on as a substitute. I think Saka has to start. For me, the personal reason why I want Saka to start is because I want the best possible players out there, just so we can maybe try and get the job done already in the first leg. Because if we get the job done in the first leg, we can play against Everton during the weekend, and then we can rest some players in the second leg before the Carabao Cup final. Because if the game is close, if the game is tight and we need to go to extra time or something like that starts to happen, the second leg's obviously at Emirates, we should be able to do the job still there no matter what. I kind of think for me, it kind of, you have to use your best team. Martinelli this season in Premier League has been nothing special. For me personally, we should be selling him. In Champions League, though, and FA Cup, if I'm not mistaken, or Carabao Cup, he has been very, very, very good. Very good. Fantastic, to be honest. Because if you compare Martinelli's performances and outputs from Premier League to Champions League, it's like night and day, two different players. And it's very evident that this more open, more direct, more pacey counter styles, systems, maybe sort of thing, is very suiting Martinelli. Like we saw in 22-23 season when he was quite sublime, let's be real, and phenomenal winger, right? And I think that's why he's also thriving in Champions League, and I hope it long continues. Genuinely hope it long continues. Let's just put it that way. I think Saka has dipped since White out the team. I think Saka has dipped since injury. There's nothing to do with White. Saka has been bang average at best since he got injured 1 year and 4 months ago. That Saka injury has absolutely annihilated him. We almost see nothing. We see something from the Saka we used to, but we don't see it consistently enough. We tend to see him some good moments, but overall he's been definitely nothing special. And that's why I was very, very hesitant and very reluctant with the 300 grand a week contract to him personally, because this injury is one of the biggest reasons, in my opinion, why his performances have dipped so deeply and so heavily over the last year or so, overall, on average, right? And the 300 grand more is based on what he did previously for the club before he got injured, right? Because before he got injured, he had 11 assists before he got injured, right? End of November, he had 11 assists. He got injured, had surgery, came back again before Real Madrid, and still nobody had hit double-digit assists the year before. So, but since then, he's been definitely. If you ask me right now, does he deserve 300 grand a week just based on the pure share this season? I'd say no chance in hell. I think it's more based on the memories and more the achievements, that the personal achievements, not even the club achievements. Let's be real, that he gets these he has gotten this big contract. He's the star boy. He's the main franchise guy. Like in the USA, you have NBA, you have Denver Nuggets with Jokic, you have Bucks, and you have everything. You used to have Chicago Bulls with Michael Jordan, with Derrick Rose, and everything. You used to have those big franchises, and you know how and it feels like Saka is Arsenal's franchise player. Let's just put it that way. Big up, Gary. Big up, Gary. Don't waste the trip. Don't waste the trip. Big up to you. Hope you're doing well today, my bro. Hope everything's fine with you. Go subscribe to people, to Gary as well. Don't waste the trip. Also an Arsenal fan. Go show him some love, people. Predictions time. Predictions time. Before we slowly enter the final part of the stream, of course. And personally, for me, I said in the beginning of the stream, I expect like 3-0 or 3-1, one or the two results. Not too sure which one would be it. Which one I actually kind of lean more towards. Personally, I'm kind of caught in between two minds, 3-0 or 3-1. 3-1 mostly because it's an away game and we tend to concede goals when we play in away games. Those away performances definitely left more to be desired. Let's just put it that way. So that's why I'm going to say 3-1. I'm going to say 3-1 Arsenal. Let me know in the chat your predictions as well, people. While you're at it, let me know. 2-0 Arsenal. Gyökeres scores twice. I think Gyökeres is going to score, to be honest, tomorrow. I think Gyökeres will score tomorrow, but I think he's gonna score and maybe assist. I don't think he's gonna score 2 goals. I think he's gonna score an assist, which sounds very weird to say that Gyökeres is gonna assist, but hey, you attack, you basically pass it into empty net, and somebody just taps it in, as they say. Somebody just taps it in. But yeah, I'm going 3-1 Arsenal. I don't know exactly. I cannot explain fully why, but since it's an away game, I kind of think Arsenal are going to concede. Let's just put it that way. I think Arsenal are going to concede a goal. Just like that. Just like that, because those away games, I don't know, for Arsenal are a bit of a banana peel type of situation going on. And it's also not the easiest ones for Arsenal specifically. So we'll see. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see. But so far, so good. Champions League, to be honest, today, it's actually a nuts one if you think about it. The Champions League results. 3-0 Bayern Munich are beating Atalanta. So basically, they are already through. They're just chilling. They're relaxing. And they are basically done and dusted, confident, and everything. Looking at Atletico Madrid, they are 4-1 up at halftime. I fully expect Atletico Madrid to score maybe 1 or 2 more goals, and that's how the game is going to end, 5-6-1. I fully expect that as well. The interesting game is the Newcastle game, because it's still 0-0. Haven't paid too much attention to that game because the other games are scoring goals at the moment, right? If I look just by the stats, the game is pretty even. Generally, possession is more or less even. Shots even. On target, almost even. Corners, Newcastle have 6 though. They are double more. Passes, the same. Like, it's very interesting. Very, 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 very interesting. I think Barcelona are going to win the game tonight. I believe that Barcelona are going to win the game tonight. But I don't think it's going to be a massive amount. I think it's going to be like 1-0 or 2-1, something like that. The rest of the games, those are going to be poundings and a half. The rest of those 2 games definitely going to be poundings and a half. And they already are, to be honest. 3-0 up at halftime and 4-1 up at halftime. Holy moly. Spurs are so bad. It's actually kind of insane if you think about it. It's kind of unbelievable as well. A team that just won Europa League. They are in Champions League. They're in round of 16 of Champions League. They are on the brink of getting relegated, and they're getting smashed 4-1 at halftime. It's not even a full game result. You usually get these full-time results like that, but it's just halftime, which seems very, very insane. Yeah, that Newcastle-Barca games, it's 0-0. Based on stats, it feels very even. As I said, I haven't paid too much attention to it. But personally, for me, I believe that Barcelona are going to win it. Like 1-0 or 2-1, something like that. There will be a few goals in the second half. I fully openly expect that. 100%. I expect a few goals in the second half. Good for Irish League too. Wait, who? Spurs? Yeah, why not? Why the hell not? We all know the Championship is arguably the hardest league to get out of. We all know that. Championship arguably is the hardest league to get out of. With with Spurs losing it's speculated that Spurs just gonna lose about 300 million just from TV revenue and all this stuff alone, not even player sales. Half of the team most likely is going to leave due to reductions of this wages. Nobody will want to do that. So we'll see. Definitely going to see. But yeah, Spurs, that is the mess and a half. And I don't even know. It's a weird situation. As an Arsenal fan, obviously, looking at Spurs, it is what it is. They are the rivals, technically speaking, just because they're up the road. But at the same time, like in my opinion, the real Arsenal rivals are still Man United, right? But at the same time, if I look this from a footballing fan perspective, It is a bit painful and shocking. I'm not gonna lie. It definitely is a bit painful and shocking. But hey, years of mismanagement, years of doing things wrong, getting the wrong managers, not thinking forward, not thinking 2 steps ahead like in chess. Well, that's where it gets you. Sooner or later, that's where it gets you. And now they are paying the ultimate price. They are paying the ultimate price, unfortunately. But we'll see. We'll see. The Spurs thing, definitely, we're going to revisit the Spurs talk at some point. 100% we're going to revisit at some point. 100% Expressions probably is losing his mind too, ironically enough. But yeah, people, I think on that note, I'm going to end today's stream. If you haven't already, smash the like button. Subscribe if you're new. Have a good evening. See you all on Thursday. Tomorrow, I'm not going to stream most likely. Oh, no, I will. Arsenal play early, so I might actually stream in the evening at 8 p.m. We'll see about that. But for now, I am out. Enjoy football. Peace.